music was the focus of all culture.
It's the story of a decade that invented the future.
I think the first gig I went to with Damon and Graham was the Happy Mondays. It was quite scary, actually. They were leery, dangerous, and it was quite exciting. They had amazing grooves.
Next, a hat-trick of albums kicks off Britpop, Loaded launches Laddism, and raving moves indoors to superclubs.
A little part of me dies every time I hear the word Britpop. No bands like being lumped in with other bands. They're like, hey, we're us, we're not them. They're wankers.
Blur's Cheeky Chappy Park Life also topped the album charts in '94, going quadruple platinum.
I remember going to see Blur at Shepherd's Bush Empire, and all of the balconies were just bouncing.
Confidence is a preference for the habitual voyeur of what is known as...
I think when they brought out Park Life, it showed their intelligence, I think, because I think it was quite a studied portrait of youth culture at that time, and I think that, you know, really harks back to Damon and his intelligence.
You should cut down on your pork life, mate. Get some exercise.
When we made Park Life, nobody knew it was going to be the phenomenon that it was. And it just kept on burning. It wasn't really an instant thing. It just, you know, it just continued to find new listeners.
I loved Park Life, I still love it. I remember hearing in a really sort of tiny little club, and you could feel like something was beginning and changing, and just watching people's reaction to records like that.
On the 14th of August, Britpop became headline news.
Two of Britain's most popular pop groups have begun the biggest chart war in 30 years. The Manchester band Oasis and their arch-rivals Blur released new singles today, each hoping to reach the #1 spot next week. The music industry hasn't seen anything like it since the Beatles fought it out with the Rolling Stones in the 60s.
All I can say about all this battle of the bands business is, if there's any winners at all, it's you lot out there, because you're getting loads of good music to listen to. So, straight in at number 2, this is Oasis.
The Oasis versus Blur bout may have been unforgettable to the fans, but not to the bloke in charge of announcing the winner.
It's funny, I didn't realise, Cindy pointed out to me that I actually presented Top of the Pops on the week when both those singles came out. Unfortunately, I have no recollection of that whatsoever.
But tonight, there's no denying, Blur are Top of the Pops!
Blur's victorious country house may have topped the mainstream charts, but there was nothing mainstream about the video. It starred Keith Allen and was directed by controversial artist Damien Hirst.
It's all around the song, really. It's a kind of neurotic pop stars buying big houses in the country. I mean, we did it as a board game and just went mad with it, really.
The music scene in the 90s was two good bands and a lot of crap bands copying them. The artists were much, much more interesting to hang out with. They were having a lot more daring thoughts, they were being a lot more courageous, they were getting drunker, shagging prettier girls. On the whole, just really more interesting crowd than the knob ends in bands.
Damien Hirst and Blur's Alex James both studied at Goldsmiths College in London's deep south.
Actually, Damien's degree show was Blur's very first gig, and he came and offered to manage us afterwards, which would have been a total disaster. One video is bad enough. There was a kind of spirit of, like, just go for it and see what happens. It was kind of, you know, chaotic and anarchic and fearless. Modern art was a joke. something that people sniggered at and misunderstood at the beginning of the 1990s. And by the end of the decade, Tate Modern was the most visited tourist attraction in the UK. That's an incredible journey that art went through.
Damien Hirst, Alex James and Keith Allen. The funny thing there was we wanted to photograph Damien Hirst. We didn't want to get these other guys. But he only agreed to do it, provided his kind of besties could come along too. So we had to kind of put them in the photo too. But my God, they were unbelievably difficult to work with. I
think when we did that shoot, we'd been up all night. I've still got that picture, actually. It's a nice picture.
And this guy, Keith Allen, who I'm sure no one would have heard of now, was an unbelievable prima donna, behaved like Mick Jagger. You know, no one knew who the fuck he was.
Toby Young. Is he the photographer?